have no bearing on us. And not only is the president a dictator, he is a minion of these foreign consortiums.
So how far is it going to take it? I mean, are they going to go ahead and just go, all right, UN, president takes the orders from the UN, Congress is no longer...
80+% of the laws in the UK are now made by the EU bureaucracy, and the countries in the EU make no of the laws. They have no control, and they publicly admit there's no more European countries. They've been absorbed through the design collapse of the EU. Are you going to spread the word to your associates in the military, sir?
Roger that. I go ahead and I do what I can when I can. I go ahead and go over what an unlawful order is to people that are above me. I even talk to majors, lieutenant colonels, and things like that, just to go ahead and explain to them sometimes what's going on. Some of them will be like, DOD isn't that much concerned with it. They won't take it that far. They won't do this with it. You know, just blatant kind of...
Oh, the president wants the power to secretly arrest citizens and put bags over their heads and kill them, but he just wants it. He's not going to use it. Oh, billions for 30,000 drones over the U.S. Oh, yeah, they're on the news saying they want to put lithium in the water, but it's not going to go that far. Yeah, they're announcing world government, but it's not going to go that far. Yeah, they're training for gun confiscation, but it's not going to go that far. Oh, they're never going to pass socialist health care. Oh, they're never going to. Oh, they're... Exactly. God bless you. All right, long segment coming up, and I'm going right to John, who's a captain, and Joshua, who is a major, and then Dustin. I got more military calling in, but that's probably all I can get to because, see, this show isn't an act, folks. I really am concerned. I mean, this is all real. I've warned about all this coming because I read globalist documents years ago, and now it's here. It's here, and I realize they don't want to just get rid of the Bill of Rights because they just want to get rid of it. They want to enslave us. They're going to... Do you understand that?
We're on the march.
All right, we are back alive here, and again, we've just become accustomed with them warrantlessly spying on us, the feds completely out of their jurisdiction, all of these horrible things happening that we've seen happen in other nations over and over again. And now it's happening here in our constitutional republic. And no country would put up with people putting you through body scanners and actually grabbing your genitals. I mean, it's ridiculous. And not even horrible third world cesspits will put up with their governments openly being puppets of foreign corporate powers or governmental powers. Is there nothing Americans won't put up with? That's why they've had all the USA beauty queens and all the Miss Americas and all these contestants on game shows promote global government, promote the UN. It's just meant to hammer us over and over again. Kids can't even say USA, USA at a basketball game in San Antonio against a local team. Because I guess that's racist now. It wasn't even meant to be towards a race. But all these wars we're told are launched for America, but they're not. Now, I want to go to a couple more calls and move quick because you know I'm long-winded. But I want to go to John, who is a Army captain, and then Joshua, who's a major. We got a bunch of other people calling in, but I've got to get to some of this other news. I know I spent almost the entire show on this, and we should. But there's all this other news that ties into it. I mean, it's just crazy. Police all over the country are pulling people over and grabbing their cell phones and downloading the contents without warrants. Police giving direct line to cell phone searches, CBS News. China copies the NDAA to secretly arrest people. I mean, it's just... Here's a Wired magazine headline. Uncle Sam, if it ends in calm, it's seizable. Without warrants, without rulings, just take whatever they want. I mean, it's crazy. Obama uses staged cyber attack to sell draconian cybersecurity bill. That's Infowars.com. Pentagon launches desperate damage control over shocking Panetta testimony that I want to play some of. DHS mission creep. They are now helping arrest prostitutes. Breitbart's death needs to be investigated for the sake and safety of all journalists. TSA admits $1 million body scanner system is critically flawed. Report chance of catastrophic solar storm is 1 in 8. Panetta, international permission, Trump's congressional permission for military actions. It doesn't even say that. He said, I don't need, Congress isn't involved anymore. Let's go to the captain and then the major. John in Missouri, Army captain, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. It's important that you know the difference. There's a huge difference between National Guard soldiers and regular Army soldiers. But more importantly, it's important. You're putting the onus on the wrong person because it's not the Army's job to police the Congress and the president. The Congress, that's their job, and they're not having their authority. And then it's the American people's job to elect those congressmen that are going to uphold the Constitution.
Well, let me agree, but also disagree with you. Listen, I've read the Constitution over and over again. I've read the manuals the military is given on the question of unlawful orders. It is always, in the final equation, when tyranny comes in, it is people in uniform that are the absolute final check on that, along with armed citizens. So before the Civil War starts, because that's what happens during these type of deals, I'm saying for the military to speak out and say, I don't take my orders through the president from the UN or NATO as the SecDef and as Obama has now said. I mean, clearly that's a big issue for the military. That's an unlawful order if he says go into Syria and Congress hasn't authorized it. I mean, is that not true?
Well, that's for them to decide, but no one's sending us into Syria, Alex. You're getting people worked up when we don't need to do that because we're such a long ways away from confiscating guns.
Do you think you're if people get worked up, the guns got to be taken?
No, I don't think they will. No, they won't ever get to that point, Alex.
Do you have any idea? Have you thought about, Captain, what's going to happen if you actually try to confiscate the guns?
Yeah, I mean, I won't do that, but no one's going to order me or my company to go confiscate people's guns.
That didn't happen in New Orleans? They didn't train for that in Arcadia, Iowa?
That's not regular Army. That's the National Guard.
You're right. Well, they did have some regular Army, actually. They had big Army in New Orleans.
Right, but we're not. The big Army and National Guard are under two different. We're under two. There's huge differences. And when the regular Army was in New Orleans, we didn't have any weapons. That's the National Guard troops. There's a big difference. We just wear the same uniform. People think we're the same.
Well, sir, all I'm trying to say to you is when the president starts saying and the Secretary of Defense starts saying, Congress is like, you get your authority from us. They're like, no, we get it from the UN and NATO. And they're like, no, you don't. I mean, look, Congress is moving to start impeachment now. And you notice it's not getting any attention. Legislation is now being introduced in the House and Senate to begin impeachment. So you're right. It's their job and it's my job, just as much as it's your job. But you're a citizen first and then in the military second. And I know you're an officer, so you know all that stuff. Maybe you disagree with the current teaching you're being given. But I've looked at the full... I mean, have you read the manuals on unlawful orders from 100 years ago?
I've seen them, Alex. We get classes, but if a soldier, you're telling soldiers to get on there and do things that may get them kicked out of the Army. And the reality is, if they get kicked out of the Army, they're going to get a dishonorable discharge, and their whole life's going to be ruined. So it's just disingenuous to say you're going to go tell the colonel this and this because you're not in the Army. And there's huge consequences that are going to go with this. And
all right, well, let me stop you again. I said people should do what they think. But again, the military's supposed to be talking to each other. You're supposed to be discussing all this. Listen, you say you're going to get thrown out of the Army, you're going to get in trouble. It wasn't disingenuous. I said in this tyranny, you could get in trouble. What you don't think I don't have my butt hanging out over the side here? I don't even talk about the chicanery that goes on against us. You think it's safe to get on the air and tell the military to start? Listen. See how we've gotten comfortable with this? It's illegal to have the president launching wars without congressional approval. Okay, I had Colonel Schaefer on just a few days ago saying, yes, it's illegal. Yes, it's treason. Because the code says it is. The Constitution says it. I got Walter Jones saying it's a high crime. It is a high crime, Captain. It is a high crime. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm asking the citizens, I'm asking the military, I'm asking the Congress, everybody. Listen, so you disagree? Do you think I'm blowing this up? That I am saying that this is basically the beginning of a foreign coup to have wars launched under UN orders, as Obama said last year and as Panetta said yesterday.
Alex, no one is telling the United States Army. No one's telling me or mine. I'm the commander of my company. We're not confiscating guns. We're so far from that. and nobody's sending us into Libya or Syria. They're not sending the regular army there. You can see where we're on. They have a chart all on Army Times where every unit in the United States Army is located.
Are you? Oh, really? They have a public chart where every unit of the U.S. Army's at.
Yeah, it's in Army Times.
Yeah. Oh, including clandestine units?
Well, not the Black Ops guys. Those guys are regular Army.
But you know there's stuff above Black Ops, right? I mean, do you know about...
There's Black Ops, there's White Ops, there's White Ops. Those aren't regular Army people. Those are... I don't even know what... No one knows what their rules are.
There's private corporate groups with national security letter of marks. Men associated with special forces. Listen. You, sir, just watch what happens in this country. They didn't march in and tell the Senate they have no authority over war because they wanted to play tiddlywinks with them. That was a declaration of the new system. Did you read the letter Obama signed last year where he said, I don't need Congress, I have the UN for authority?
Yeah, I read that. I listen to you all the time. I think you're great.
Well, I think you're great, sir, but do you realize that's illegal?
Yeah, but that's for the common Army's job. We're run by civilians. It's not our job to go arrest the president or the Congress. The Congress needs to do their job.
Let me stop you. I hear you, and I appreciate your call, sir. Let me be clear if you think that's what you heard. I did not say the military should arrest the president. I'm not in love with this thing. I hear about a military coup to stop what's happening. You know, some Operation Valkyrie, because the president's just a puppet. Okay? I'm saying the military needs to make some noise and say, hey, we don't take our orders in the Constitution from the UN, like Michael Dew did. Joshua in Oklahoma, it just says major. Thanks for calling and holding, Joshua. You're a major in the Army, Marines. Where are you a major?
Major in the Army, actually.
What did you think of the whole discussion we've been having?
Well, to be honest, focusing on that last one, I'm actually very disappointed in that captain. My personal beliefs are that he's misguided, even though he has good intentions. Now, going back on something that was stated earlier, he doesn't personally believe that people are going to start confiscating guns or people are going to start arresting citizens whenever they feel like it. But I was actually recently assigned to liaison duty where I'm helping people transition from the active military into the reserves or National Guard for the simple fact that they want to keep their numbers, but they don't want to pay them near as much, hence this whole budget cuts thing. One of the key things that they actually did do was they went around and reassured a lot of people saying things like, oh, don't worry, your job's secure. Oh, don't worry, we'll give you benefits. Oh, don't worry, we'll give you a bonus if you just do this. You just have to do what we say. Now, going again to something that was stated before about the gun being confiscated, Oklahoma has never been a state that's had armor until recently, and it's not quite something that they're bringing out to the mainstream. What is happening that I'm aware of, because it's in my department, is recently we were given APCs and we were given strikers, usually in the form of things that can be modified, up-armored, whatever, bigger guns, things like that. But the thing is, it's not focused on, like, tanks. It's not focused on things to declare war. It's always on stuff where you can move troops in and out of an area where they're completely protected by a hunk of steel.
So it's to fight asymmetrical groups of guerrilla warriors. It's for fighting asymmetrical insurrections. And look, the local police are all militarizing for that duty. I mean, there's a full escalation for over a decade for all-out war with the American people. And I just hope that this doesn't happen. But if it does, the public's not going to go out and fight the vehicles when they're driving down the road. They're going to attack the troops when they're in bars. I mean, I hope people understand if it goes to a guerrilla war in this country, I don't know how to explain it. Well, I'm sure you know. Go ahead.